Today's lesson is on testing a difference in medians. Another test is to test the difference in medians. When a distribution has outliers or is skewed, the value of the mean may no longer be a good indication of what is typical. Because the median is more resistant to usually large or small values, using the median instead of the mean is often a better way to describe a typical value in the distribution. Thus, when we are comparing distributions that are skewed, we should consider comparing their medians rather than their means. Recently, some sports writers have suggested that the number of triples scored by baseball players has decreased because teams favor power hitters over speedy ones. Also, teams have become more risk-averse, preferring to take a sure double rather than going for the triple and risking an out. Is this true? Has the ability of MLB players to hit triples gone down in the 25 years from 1979 to 2004? So our hypotheses, our HO, would be that players have the same ability to hit triples in 1979 and 2004. And our HA would be that players had a greater ability to hit triples in 1979 than 2004. So here are the distributions of the number of triples for all players with at least 500 plate appearances in 1979 and 2004. Calculate the difference in medians. Well, the median for 1979 is 4, and in 2004 it's 2, so our difference is 2, and that will be our test statistic. So they did 1,000 trials of the simulation and found only one that had a difference of at least 2. So our p-value is 1 out of 1,000. Again, always make sure you're putting it out of the correct number of trials, which is 0.001 or 0.1%. So we would say, assuming players had the same ability to hit triples in 1979 and 2004, it shows the possible differences in medians that could occur by random chance. So our conclusion would be we reject HO. We have convincing evidence that players had a greater ability to hit triples in 1979 than 2004. Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals was one of the best players in the NHL during the 2009-2010 season. In fact, he finished second among all players in points, which is goals and assists, with 109. Did he have a greater ability to score points at home than he did on the road? So the hypotheses, our HO, will be Ovechkin had the same ability to score points at home and on the road. Our HA, Ovechkin had a greater ability to score points at home than on the road. So here's a graph of his 37 performances at home and his 35 on the road. Briefly compare the distributions. So the shape, both are skewed right. Outliers. Home has two possible outliers. Our center. Home has a higher median. Remember, since they're skewed, we're using mean and median. And our spread, home has a larger spread, which means he's less consistent at home. Because the distributions are skewed, the difference in medians will be used as the test statistic. Calculate the value and describe how to simulate it. Okay, so the value for the median for home is 2, and for road is 1. So it will be 2 minus 1, which is 1. So we will take 72 note cards. And we're going to write the performances on each one. Then we're going to shuffle. And randomly assign $37 to home and $35 to road. Find the median of each file. Subtract home minus road, plot it on a dot plot, and repeat many times. "1,000 trials were conducted, assuming it had the same ability to score points at home and on the road. Use the histogram to estimate and interpret the p-value. Well, our difference was 1, and that's 400, so our p-value is 400 out of 1,000, which is 0.4 or 40%. So we would say, assuming Ovechkin had the same ability to score points at home and on the road, we would expect a difference in medians home minus road of at least 1, 40% of the time by random chance. Based on your p-value, make an appropriate conclusion. So our conclusion would be we failed to reject HO. We do not have convincing evidence. That Ovechkin had a greater ability to score points at home than on the road. If our conclusion is an error, what type of error did we make? So this would be a type 2 error. We said that Ovechkin had the same ability to score points at home and on the road. But in reality, it was greater at home.